After logging into the software with an employee ID and password, you will be brought to the invoice screen. Here is where you will process your transactions. To add items to the invoice, select the departments on the left to filter out the items in that department. You can use the arrows at the bottom to navigate through the departments and the inventory in the selected department. Make your selection. This will add the item to the invoice. At the invoice screen, we can also edit items on the invoice. To delete an item off the invoice, select the item and then select Delete. To do a discount on a specific item, select the item, then select Line Discount Percent. Enter the percentage you would like to take off from that item and select OK. To change the quantity of an item, select the item that you would like to change the quantity of, then select Change Quantity. Enter the new quantity and select OK. To modify an item, or to add a modifier to the item, select Modify. Enter the price for the modification and select OK. Enter a description for the modification. For example, if your customer wants a soup with only broth, you can select the soup and modify it to charge 50 cents for only broth. To reorder a round, select the item that is to be reordered, and then select Reorder Round. Optionally, you can highlight the item, select Edits, and then select Reorder Round. To void an item, make an item complementary, or to discount an invoice, it is recommended to set up reason codes, or reasons why these edits are happening. To set up reason codes, select Manager from the login screen and enter your credentials. Select Setup, then Setup screen. Select the Invoice Settings tab, then select the Reason Code button. Use the drop-down to select the action you would like to add the reason code for. Select Add, then enter a reason for the action. In this example, we are creating wrong order for void and a reason of VIP for both item comps and invoice discounts. Then exit, and finally update. To void an item, highlight the item, then select Edits. Select Void Item. You will be prompted to select the reason code. In this example, we will select the reason code we created earlier of wrong order. To make an item complementary, highlight the item, select Edits, then select Comp. Select the reason code that we created earlier for the comp. In this example, VIP. To discount an invoice, select Edits, then select Discount. You can choose to apply the discount to all the items in a specific category, or you'll be given a list of items that are on the invoice, and you can select which ones you would like to be discounted. Enter the percentage you would like to take off and select OK. Select the reason code that we created earlier for the comp. In this example, VIP. To apply gratuity to an invoice, select Edits, then Apply Gratuity. Select whether to use a percentage of the invoice or to add a flat amount to the invoice. Enter the appropriate number and select OK. To void an invoice, select Edits and then Void Invoice. To print a check to give to the customer, select Check, and a copy of the invoice will be printed. To place the order on hold and to send it to the kitchen, if applicable, select Send. If On Hold ID is set to prompt in the Restaurant Features tab of the Setup screen, then you will be asked to enter a unique identifier to track the invoice by. For example, the customer's name. To close out a transaction, select Pay. This will bring up the Amount Tendered screen. Here we will choose how the transaction will be paid. Choose the tender type that you will be accepting. At the bottom you will see buttons representing dollar amounts. These are quick cash buttons. The one all the way to the right represents the next dollar amount up. To pay out to a split tender, select Pay, and using the keypad on the left, type in the amount that you would like to pay out to the first tender type. Then select the payment method. In this example, cash. This process can be repeated so that you can accept multiple tender types for one transaction. To associate invoices with customers, select Lookup Customer from the invoice screen. Enter search text to search for the customer by. If the customer does not exist in the database, we can select Add Customer, which will bring us to the customer maintenance screen. Select your customer. Add your items to the invoice as you normally would, and then select Pay. Select the tender type that the customer will be paying with, and close out the transaction. To view a customer's sales history, open up Customer Maintenance and select Lookup. Select your customer. Select the History tab. You will see a list of the transactions that this customer has processed. When done, select Exit. To pay out transactions to the customer account, we must first configure the customer's account to accept on-account transactions. Open up Customer Maintenance and select your customer. Select the Account Info tab. Under Open Account Date, select the O button. Optionally, we can choose to set a close account date. Select Update to save your changes. At the invoice screen, select your customer and ring up your items as you normally would. Then select Pay. For the tender type, select On Account. To view the customer's account balance, open up Customer Maintenance. Then select your customer. Select the Account Info tab. Select the Detailed Account Info button. Under the Invoices tab, you will see a list of the invoices that have been paid to this customer's account. Under the Payments tab, you will see a list of the payments that have been applied to this customer's balance. To apply a payment, select the payment transaction type at the bottom. Select the invoice number. Select the payment method, and then enter the amount. Select Apply Payment, and close out the transaction. When done, select Exit. Be sure to select Update to save any changes. Then select Exit.